Well, welcome back to SAFC Live. We've seen quite a disappointing result this afternoon here at the Stadium of Light, to say the least. Sunderland 0, Middlesbrough 4. But there's a few moments in that game where you could probably pinpoint a couple of things, and there were a couple of the reasons for the end result in the end, Danny. A lot of the fans inside the ground in particular will point to the performance of the referee. But you believe maybe Sunderland weren't solid enough as a collective in those circumstances in the second half, perhaps, to stop some of that damage limitation?
Yeah, I think obviously, you're 45 minutes, they've got the extra man. But, you know, I've been there as a player, most players have been, and you work on it sometimes in training, shape against when you without the man, or you come up against the top team and you're not having the ball, you sit back and you're compact and you're deep, and you make it difficult for the opposition. And how many times have we said it about the opposition? I keep going back to Cardiff a few weeks ago, exactly what they done. Didn't allow us through the middle of them. They made us go round and round and we couldn't break them down. And I think that's what we needed a bit more in that second half. You know, straight from the off, they almost scored. Anthony Patterson makes a good save. They were cutting through us, and they had an extra man, but it looked like they had 2 or 3 extra players out there. That's what it looked like. Now, obviously, we dropped into a 3-5-1, really. So in terms of that, you're forfeiting a man at the top end of the pitch. Yeah. Abdullah Bar's trying to work the centre-backs. You're still compacting the midfield 3 there, really. And then you've got your back line in still, but it was too easy for Middlesbrough. Give them credit, by the way. I thought Isaiah Jones was excellent down the right hand side.
They played some good football.
They played good football.
Even at 11.
Yeah, no, exactly. They did. Yeah, they came here today early on. They dictated early on. To be fair to them, had a bit of the ball. Didn't really create too many opportunities in that first half. Should have made more of it. Final ball let them down. But in the second half, you know, coming up against 10 men, they punished us. A heavy defeat. Obviously not ideal in terms of. Listen, you can lose games of football, but in terms of a confidence one there, hopefully the boys can get over it sharpish. They've got a couple of weeks off now, regroup, as I said, on comms there, get 1 or 2 back from the treatment room, and you've got to get ready to go again. We're still sat in a good position. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's have a look through the action then and see maybe where it went wrong for Sunderland this afternoon.
Yes, we had moments in the first half, as they did. It was quite a good game, even at 0-0, you know. People sometimes look at a scoreline, don't they? And I think that's a reflection of the game. I thought it was quite open. I say Middlesbrough came here to play. They were open. We were a little bit open, 11v11 in the middle of the park. We had 3 or 4 occasions where we were running back towards our own goal, which we'll see on the clips now, where it was a bit of a space in there, even with Dan Neil in there, who was naturally the sitting centre midfielder. So I was saying that I think something that Tony Mowbray's going to have to look at here now. Prime example, look at the space there. Opens up for them. Decision making for them. Maybe I thought Tommy Smith could have pulled the trigger there. He tries to stand the ball up to the far post, too much on it. So we did get away with a couple in that first half, really running back towards our own goal. But at the same time, we're always going to be a threat, and it does help us when the game's open. And you see there, you've got Patrick driving in. Patrick took a little bit of time to get into the game, as did Jack on the other side. But you fancy Patrick here. It opens up now there, and he tries to do the keeper. Good save, give him credit. Maybe if he lifts it, you know, again, it's ifs and buts, isn't it? But he goes for that bottom corner. Goalkeeper gets a good boot on it. But yeah, it was always going to be difficult setting off when we are down to 10 men, trying to get Jack and Patrick going forward. They spent that much time in our own half, trying to look after their wide players, that it becomes a difficult ask, doesn't it? And I was saying, you dig in at times, and if you do ride out the storm, keep it at 0-0 as long as you can, then maybe you are going to get an opportunity or 2 on the counter-attack or from a set play. But the fact that we conceded too early on in the second half, that was the game done, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sunderland's defence who played a big part in today's game.
I just said there, didn't I? Dan Ballard was arguably our man of the match, you know, and he's come off there conceding 4 goals, so it's a difficult one for him there. Second half, he made 3 or 4 great blocks and challenges, getting himself in the way. And maybe we just didn't do enough on the counter in these situations, really. You know, it's those moments in a game where you look back, really, and when you're not quite at it in the first half, like we weren't, but that's, again, credit to Middlesbrough, stifled us, really, stopped us playing our game. It's just these are the types of ones you work on in training, 2v1s, 3v2s, that little quality on the ball, little bit of a, you know, don't overrun it or just find that little threaded pass, but unfortunately, it wasn't there. You see, again, it's a counter again. Abdullah Bar driving forward, he actually gets a free kick, and Isaiah Jones gets booked for that one. I'm not sure if is there too much in it, really. I'm not sure if he gets anything in the ball or he gets too much of Abdullah Bar, but he picked up a yellow card. And then here, coming up towards the end of the break now, I think it was, you know, we're having a little spell. You see Middlesbrough force them back. Dan Neil trying to find Mason Burstow at the far post. Good goalkeeping, claws it away. I think Jack recycles it, drops it off to Trey Hume, no pressure on him, touch out of his feet, and he's looking to drop one into that far corner. So we did have moments as well in that first half, and we're always going to, when a game's open like that, you fancy us, but maybe we just couldn't get Jack up to his best today, and Patrick as well. And this is one on the goalkeeper,
well,
isn't it?
The keeper and
yeah, it's a foul, that, isn't it? You know, Dan just he has a quick look at the goalkeeper. He knows he's not going to win it, and just jumps into him, leans into him there. Again, it's a free kick, nothing more for me, that one. This was a strange one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Really strange. You got O'Nien and Coburn going down in the middle.
Yeah, and then they almost scored. A wonderful save from Anthony Patterson, by the way.
Incredible save from Patterson.
Yeah.
Watch from this angle.
Isaiah Jones, again, he was their man of the match for me as well. So, you know, I'd give perhaps Dan Bollard our man of the match, and then Isaiah Jones for them. But Anthony Patterson, yeah, was it point blank, isn't it? Keepers work a lot on them in training.
Ballard does get
across the line. Yeah. Crooks thinks he scored there. But see here now, this is what I'm talking about. They're sapping the legs off us with bodies back there. But sometimes it's not just the legs, it's the minds as well. Having that desire to go out and get there and put pressure on the ball, and we couldn't quite do it in the second half. Again, whether that's the week catching up with us, a little bit leggy, weren't we? Isaiah Jones again going through us like, you know, a little good bit of feet work there. Two of them left for dead.
You think
Luke comes across.
The games in quick succession have maybe caught up with us in the end there before the international
break,
Danny?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's hard though, isn't it? You say, how do you change it? Because, you know, the team are doing well. They've won a game there. You know, you're not going to ask a player, "Oh, you're feeling leggy." He's not going to say yes. He wants to be out there. But it just looked like that, and they just forced us back. But this is what, you know, Tony Mowbray will look at this. They'll sit there, they'll debrief it. Look how far there. He's almost on the corner of the 6-yard box. I think Jensen Seelt there. He's behind him. He's not in a bad position, but it's a good flick. It's pace on it. It doesn't look good in slow motion. But, you know, it's past Anthony Patterson before he knows it, that one. And then not long after, here's the second one now. Again, Isaiah Jones, touchline.
Just 2 minutes later
Jack.
as well, Danny.
And they're saying Jack looks leggy, but he puts a shift in, doesn't he? He plays, you know, week in, week out. But look at us there. We've got 6 in the box, I think. They've got 2 in there, and it's getting across. The only place he can put that there is on the deck. He can't stand it up. He's too far gone. So we've got to get across him there. I think Jensen Seelt at the back post, got to be this side of him. You know, he's behind him there. And then Trey Hume has gone over on the line. I'm not sure what's happened. Has he lost his footing? And now I'm thinking now damage limitation. Let's keep it to 2. You know, you take it on the chin. It's not been our afternoon, and you come away. But obviously they conceded a couple more. Yeah, this one at the bottom of your picture. Luke there, the wrong side of his man pulls him down. They come together. Is it possible? Again, that's a VAR job, isn't it? Bottom of your picture, we've got Seelt at the top. Regardless, he chops inside. Good composure from him, and then just tucks it away through Anthony Patterson's legs. You know, Dan Ballard trying to get back there, can't put the brakes on, and then similar with Jensen Seelt trying to get back on the line, just wrong foots him behind him, and then he went off not long after. So he had a good afternoon for Middlesbrough. Isaiah Jones.
So Isaiah Jones got the 3rd in the 72nd minute.
Yeah, it's nearly the 4th, wasn't it? Yeah, he come off the bench fresh, wasn't he?
Made all 5 changes, did.
Yeah, at the top end of the pitch, and he wanted more. Michael Carrick, didn't he? You see us a couple of weeks ago there, where Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it? Where we were 3 up, and then we almost took our foot off. Middlesbrough never. You know, Michael Carrick's making changes there, top end of the pitch, wanting more goals. And then we made a few at the top end ourselves, didn't we? Chris Rigg coming on. Sheesh obviously came on at half-time. Rusin wasn't actually too bad when he come on. I know we had to do a lot of defensive work, but I think you can look at him there. His touch looks decent. He works a shift. He can look after the ball. So he's trying to get him a bit more game time now. I think he had 15 minutes or so today. And then opportunity for Patrick. I think comes off Bangor, come off the bench, didn't he? Dropping out the sky for Patrick. Behind for the corner.
Didn't really get the connection on.
No, he never know. And then I think Seelt as well, not long after, yeah, getting forward. Patrick rolls it across to him. Angles against him. Decent strike, by the way. Dieng there, parries it behind. And I said it was difficult for Jensen Seelt, wasn't he? Come on there for Niall Huggins in the first half, and coming off the bench, he's getting a good bit of game time. But in those situations, it's a difficult one for him. He knows he's going to be defending a lot in that second half, and it's a difficult one for him. At times he looked okay, defended well. Difficult one to judge him on, though, obviously. And that one there, yeah, save from Anthony Patterson, and then just on the follow-up, isn't it? Force helps himself to a goal.
So that's how it went this afternoon in terms of the highlights. Wonder what you've been seeing around the world as well. Oh, well, I don't understand. We haven't got any of those this afternoon for you, but we have a look at the league table. Sunderland still sitting fourth, everyone else still to play this afternoon.
Yeah, 1 or 2 obviously got a game in hand on us. I don't think we can move unless Leeds come away with a decent score. But yeah, we're still in a good position. It's a disappointing afternoon. No, Preston have just had a couple of hide-ins in the last couple of games. So it would have been nice, obviously, to pick up at least a point or certainly 3. Yeah, going into the break, possibly in third. But you know, if you'd have said again to any of the Sunderland fans going into the October international break, we're going to be sat in fourth in the table, they'd have snapped your hands off. So positive so far. You know, a lot of good play. More often than not, we're scoring goals. Obviously, haven't today. Situation maybe, but you know, it's been a good start to the season.
Okay, then there is an international break, as Danny said, so you'll have to wait a couple of weeks for Sunderland's next game. Myself and Danny will be back in the studio, which we call the sports bar these days, and that'll be a game against one of your former clubs, Stoke.
I think I'm away for that one.
Well,
I might not be in attendance.
Who knows who I will have alongside me for that. I do believe me and Danny are getting together to do a podcast for SAFC Unfiltered during the international break, so keep an eye and an ear, of course, out for that one. But that Stoke game is on Saturday, the 21st of October. That's the next Sunderland game. The 3 p.m. kickoff means we'll be on air from 2:15 in the studio. It hasn't been Sunderland's day, but we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you soon.